I had a general education. I became religious for like almost 7 years. I read tons about being a Jew. Um, but when Leo and I embarked on this journey, I was shocked at how different. Like we have this one episode we did where nobody here is giving any kudos to any Nazis, so don't get me wrong in any way. But we didn't know. We discovered that the Nazis tried to move the Jews out of Germany into Israel, for example, before the war. Now, it would be the same if someone came to America and said, "Hey, Jews, if you all move to Israel now, we won't kill you." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" I know it sounds insane, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that Nazis came to Israel and tried to help Jews move there before the war. Like, there's just so many. I didn't know that the Hanukkah story was started out as a civil war between Jews. I didn't know that before the Romans destroyed the Second Temple, the Jews were killing each other. We're in another civil war. Like, there's
en masse.
Yeah, there's so much about the education that I just didn't know, and I wonder, like, how can we educate the generation that's coming up to understand how much is in our hands? And yeah, of course, like if someone's coming to kill you, kill them first. Or like if someone's, specifically doing something aggressive, like there has to be some kind of reaction to it. But simultaneously, as this generation's coming up, the generation who will raise the next families, who will be the next leaders, like how do we feel and how do we impress upon the next generation of Jewish leaders and community organizers how much of the solution to all this, can we say solution when we talk about this?
As long as it's not a final solution.
Okay, how much of the solution is really in our hands? It's not about like trying to make everybody else stop doing everything, which we have to do that somewhat, but that so much of it, like what you talked about in your childhood, that feeling, to develop that feeling everywhere. If people feel from us that we're loving, caring, community-oriented people, then it's not a lot of reason to hate there. So my question to you is about education and the work you're doing now. How can we educate our generation to understand how much of our future lies in our hands and not just in trying to tie the hands of other anti-Semites?
Absolutely. I would say, one, teaching ourselves and our people the pride that it needs for us to stand up for ourselves, for each other within our community. I would say another thing would be gaining allies or taking our friends, whether that's if we have non-Jewish family, Jewish family, bringing our people in, our circles in, and that education piece of educating friends and family and on college campuses, peers and other students, maybe even faculty and staff. As we continue to teach an understanding of who we are and what we're dealing with, I truly believe that is something that can be a solution. And in the way that I would fight for any group experiencing hate, there's been a large rise in anti-Asian hate right alongside of anti-Semitism as well as racism. And one of the ways that I think different communities really fight this hate is bringing in their friends, their family, and especially saying to the communities outside, fight for us as well. And so I would say for me, when focusing on anti-Semitism, is talking to my friends, talking to family members, or talking to peers, really just this idea of educating on who we are, what we're dealing with, and how we can help.